Hello, welcome to Mismatch Readers Club. We are Hana and Eliza, two friends here to talk about books, overthink characters, and most of the time go completely off topic.
Yeah, genuinely most.
If the previous recording is absolutely anything to go by.
It is.
Because it's a couple of days for you guys, but it is 2 minutes? Right.
We're going back this is part 2 of our questionnaire. We were going to do it in one part, and then when I'll bugger it, we'll just do 2.
We talk too much, and we thought the previous episode was a little bit more of intro-y stuff as well. So we thought episode 0 and episode 1 would be us doing book questions. So we have a little spinning wheel, and I think it's your turn to spin the wheel.
Probably. Do you prefer book to movie or book to television adaptations? That's easy. Book to TV.
I was going to say, I think it depends on the book.
That is true. I think a standalone is better as a movie.
Yeah.
I think a series is going to be better as a TV show.
Yeah.
So.
I think it depends on the book.
Yeah. I would say standalone movie.
Standalone movie.
Series TV show.
Did you watch Shadow and Bone?
Yes, I love Shadow and Bone.
That was another one where I thought they really nailed the casting. I thought casting was really good.
I mean, I haven't read the books.
I've read the books.
But I do think that they nailed, I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I liked it as well. I think also, I watched the show as I had started to read the book. So I think I was maybe 50 to 30 pages into the first book.
Uh-huh.
And then I started watching the show, and I thought that the show was pretty good.
I am also an absolute sucker for anything with Ben Barnes.
Oh, Sam, he's so hot. It's ridiculous.
And Ben Barnes as the Darkling.
So good. Perfect casting. No, it's 10 out of 10. Couldn't tell you anything else that happened in the show.
Ben Barnes as the Darkling is basically who I picture as the vast majority of the, dark, shadow-wielding male main character in fantasy novels.
I'm just trying to think of what the male main character looks like in what Rory looks like. And then, he would probably kind of look like that.
See, he's a bit more emo kid. He wears eyeliner.
He does wear eyeliner. Good for him.
He's more like Helena era Jared Way-esque.
So good. It means so much to me. Okay.
But yeah, I think standalone movie, series, TV show.
Yeah.
You can get more depth that way.
If someone wrote a book about your own life, would you be the hero or the villain? I already know how I'm going to answer this.
I actually had this question pull up before we started recording this. I did a test recording to make sure the software worked and the microphone worked and I could fiddle around with things. And this came up. And I don't think I would be either.
I think I'd be the unreliable narrator of my own life.
Truly.
That's what I think.
Because in some ways, and this, without going deep into trauma, in some ways people would see me as the hero of my life. But I have done a lot of self-damaging things. I am my own villain.
Yeah.
So
I think I was pretty self-destructive.
Yeah, self-destructive. That's the word.
I was pretty self-destructive for a little bit, but also I think I feel like unreliable narrator would be more accurate.
Anti-hero.
The anti-hero.
We are the anti-hero of our own lives.
Yeah. Also, I love an unreliable narrator. So,
have you ever been to a book club? No. I would like to join a book club, but most of my friends, and I say most of my friends, I have 3. Only one of them reads fantasy romance. And then, obviously, Hannah here reads Litfic. So we can't really do a book club because we don't often... I mean, we are doing a book club. This is effectively a book club.
This is a book club.
But we don't often read the same books. So we can't have overtly in-depth discussions about the same book. But that might change.
Might change if we do a read-along. One of the things that I've done this year was I haven't actually been to a book club before. I'm very interested about going to the Matildas book club because they do 2 or 3 different ones, I think.
Yeah.
But my friend Emma and I have decided that we are going to read. We're being a duo book club.
Yeah.
We're going to do duo book clubs.
Doesn't she read mostly contemporary romance?
Yeah, she reads a lot of romance stuff. But we also we used to read a lot of the same books. And the true romance books I've read have all been recommended by Emma.
Okay.
So we have decided that we're going to read a book together each month. I think it's
virtual book club.
Yeah, and it's nice to have kind of
someone.
We were
to
both
talk.
just we need to have a structured activity here. So it was good, and we had different views on the book, which I like as well.
Yeah. So I think that's what I want is someone that I can read the same kind of books, and I want to see if people have different interpretations.
Yeah. I guess also I have an informal book club with my brother because we read a lot of the same books.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So, yeah.
Just find someone to talk about books with. That's all you need.
Yeah, pretty much. It doesn't need to be a big structured
Doesn't need to be
thing.
anything official.
Although it does seem fun. What book or series do you hope and pray will be turned into a movie or TV show one day?
This is easy. First Time Caller by B.K. Borison.
Yes.
I think it would be an absolutely iconic rom-com. It feels very similar to the veins of the like late 90s, early 2000s rom-coms that we all watched growing up.
Did you
And
say it was like Sleepless in Seattle, kind of?
I can get what you're saying. So without going completely in depth to the book, the main premise of the book is our two main characters are on a radio show, and in between each chapter they have little like excerpts of the radio show, like what they talk about. And I think that would be executed perfectly in those sort of cinematic shots that you have in a movie when you're having like a scene change, or we've got a bit of time passing, because one of the things is this radio show they're on is gaining popularity. So I think really cool audio overlays would be this radio show over, say, someone sitting in a cafe listening to it with headphones, someone sitting in traffic listening to it on their car radio, things like that. I just think it would be executed really, really well as a rom-com. So that's my answer. I wouldn't want to do a fantasy novel, just because I think, especially of late, fantasy novels being transitioned into book or movie or TV series, they just leave too much out.
Yeah.
It's really hard to encompass all the detail that happens within particularly a fantasy novel, because there's so much world building and there's magic systems to learn, that a movie is impossible to get all the detail in. And a TV show, a lot of fantasy novels would fall into the trap of having too many filler episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's your answer?
TV show, I'm not super sure on. Now that I've said this, I do have a distinct memory that this is actually getting adapted into a TV show. But Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson, it's so perfectly cinematic when you're like reading it. I absolutely loved it. And I think it would be a great movie. But now that I have said that, I am pretty sure that it is getting adapted for TV series. But
stay tuned.
We
might be wrong.
I think it's getting adapted for a TV series, but I also think it would be adapted very well to a TV series.
Yeah.
Because like both of the main characters are dancers, and it's like almost like a very musical book.
Okay.
Which I think would help with the rhythm of it. I feel like it would have a fucking great soundtrack, because it does. He did a
playlist.
He did a playlist for it, and it was so good.
I can appreciate a book that have a playlist like in the title pages.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've got a few books like that. Did I listen to them? No.
I listened to the Open Water one. It was really good.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my answer.
What about a movie? Anything for a movie?
Movie-wise, I don't know, really.
You have given an answer. So yeah. Do you judge a book by its cover? Would a shoddy cover put you off?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I do, when I'm just like browsing generally to see if I can find a new book, I do gravitate towards the covers that I like. But if the premise isn't interesting, I put it back.
Yeah.
And in the same vein, if there's a book I pick up that I might pick it up and think this cover's hysterically bad.
Yeah.
But if the premise sounds really good, I'm not necessarily put off by it.
I did it several years ago, to get out of a reading rut where I would walk into a bookstore and the first cover that caught my eye, I wouldn't read the blurb, I'd just pick the book up and buy it.
Yep.
And it worked pretty well. I appreciate a good cover, so I'm more likely to, if I'm flicking through a bookstore, it's an eye-catching cover will work
absolutely.
for me. So, yeah, I do judge a little bit by
I think
covers.
Everybody does, to be fair.
I also think some of them can be really formulaic, when you walk into, I feel like current contemporary romance has a very, particular way that the books look. Same with, romantasy and stuff like that they have. And also lit fic. They all have that kind of particular look.
Abstract art-esque.
Or even, I feel like the first one I was aware of was My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otesha Mosfeg, I think is her name, and I hated that book. But the cover is great, and it's classic painting neon text over the top of it, and it looks great. It's so eye-catching, and I will pick up every book that looks like it. So, yeah. Do you prefer book covers with images on the front or book covers with typography on the front?
I prefer imagery.
Yeah, I prefer imagery as well, like that
If
book I just mentioned.
Plain color, a plain color with even neon writing or just block text, I often don't gravitate towards it.
I like an image.
Especially if the image matches the vibe of the book.
Yeah, I think it's really good. All right, next question.
Are you planning to read more diversely this year, either genres, formats, or authors? Yeah. I would like to read more historical fiction, maybe a little bit of lit fic. I wouldn't mind diving into more short story compilations, so that kind of covers format. And I've talked about on my own book TikTok account about reading slightly more diversely with authors. So
I feel like I read pretty diversely. Would like to read more like horror-ish, which we spoke about a little bit on the previous episode. And I also want to I've been reading a lot of translated fiction.
Yeah.
And I really, really like translated fiction. So I want to keep that up,
Yeah.
I think, and reading more like essay collections and stuff like that. Love a good essay collection. So yeah.
I think it's always good to try and read more diversely, but also if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah,
Reading
exactly. Like
is
if you know
subjective.
if
If
you
you
know
want-
what you like, then you know what you like. Like my mum always reads. Like my mum is like Patricia Cornwell, Agatha Christie, Dick Francis, and they're the authors that she reads, and that's fine. She loves them.
Yeah, she's reading,
Yeah.
and that's what matters.
Thoughts on book clubs? Does it enrich the reading experience, or do you prefer reading at your own pace? I think I found reading with Emma and I reading the same book. I thought it was really good because it was like we are both going to read the same book, and then we have a set time where we are going to talk about the book.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, oh, hey, I just read this book and it's really interesting or whatever, and not really expanding on it. So I think that is really good. But also I'm such a erratically paced reader that I think if I was going to one where it was like I know someone who does a book club and they read a new book every 2 weeks, and I just don't read consistently enough at the moment for me to be able to participate.
I can appreciate book clubs, but yeah, there has to be limitations to it. Like I think one book a month is
I think one book a month is doable.
reasonable. I wouldn't want to have something that I'm participating in dictate what I read.
Yeah.
So I read a lot. Like I read quite a lot. I read on average 6 to 8 books per month.
Yeah, but didn't you just say you read 10 books in January?
I am on my 10th book of January at the time of filming this. I've had a very good reading month, but
I'm currently reading my 4th book, I think.
But I think doing something like buddy reading or book club reading all the time is too limiting for me because I'm a fast reader.
Yeah.
And one of my other good friends who reads a lot of fantasy stuff, she's a very slow reader.
Yeah.
Like I'll finish a book in 2 days that'll take her a week.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, Have you finished? Have you finished? Have you finished?
All right. Spin.
Are you a one book at a time reader, or do you like reading multiple books at the same time?
I don't know what you are, so I'm interested to hear the answer of this.
I am mostly a one book at a time reader.
Okay.
And so because of that, I tend to go physical and audio for one singular book, and I just sort of move my bookmark in the physical book and keep track of where I am. I do sometimes do multiple books at a time as part of my other creator account for books. I have partnered with Podium Audio, so
you get a certain amount of books, don't you?
I get advanced copies of audiobooks.
Yeah.
So obviously as part of that, I have to listen to the audio.
Yeah.
So there will be times where I'll be reading a physical book and listening to one of my advanced copies on audio. So then I'm doing 2 books at a time. But generally, I'm just doing one.
I am always reading multiple books, like always. I will have a physical book on the go and then I'll have a different book on my Kobo. And then if I am doing an audiobook, I will have a different audiobook on the go. I generally try and do one fiction and one non-fiction at the same time. Because otherwise I get too mixed up with plots and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll try and do like a non-fiction and a fiction at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like to have multiple books on the go.
I just like to fully immerse myself in one story.
If you could meet one author in person, who would it be?
Oh, I don't know.
Olivia Lang. I love them. I think I would want to meet them and talk to them about art and gender stuff. Judith Butler also. I would love to meet Judith Butler. If Abdurraqib. Yeah, those would be the authors that I want to. And it's not even necessarily that I want to like meet them and talk to them. I want to listen to them talk.
I would like to meet Stacey McEwen, which is honestly possibly feasible because she is an Australian author.
Really?
Yeah, she's based in the Gold Coast.
Nice.
She is the author of one of my absolute god tier trilogies, the Galatian trilogy, and then I had 2 top books of 2025, and her latest book was one of them. It was that and The Night and the Moth. I couldn't decide between the 2.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so I would love to meet her. She is also very, very funny online. She has a very good social media presence, and she just seems like a very down-to-earth person. Like the sort of person that you could go down to the pub and have a beer with and have a laugh. Yeah. So I would say Stacey McEwen.
Nice.
What is the book that has been on your TBR the longest?
Lord of the Rings. It's been on there for so long, fellas. It's not good. It has. I tried reading it in my teen years. I tried reading it again while I was at uni, and I tried reading it again recently. And the most recent attempt, which was maybe last year.
Mm.
I think it was last year. Was I did pretty okay. I got most of the way through the first book because Justin was also reading the books at the same time. I just haven't been able to get through it. I've also tried The Hobbit multiple times and I can't get
And
through
that's
it.
so short.
It's so short,
It's
but
like
it's
200
just
pages.
I don't love his writing style, which I think is like the
I've never
biggest.
tried to read Tolkien, so
It's just, and I love a bit of flowery writing, but it's just so detailed. I guess it just borders into
well, they are
waffle.
technically classics, so
Yeah.
classical writing can often be
Yeah, it
prose
could
for the
be.
sake of prose.
Justin has said that the audiobooks of them are really good, so I might give the audiobook a go
yeah.
because Andy Serkis reads them.
Oh, I love it.
And so he does the voices and stuff like that. So it's like a
Excellent.
very, very good audiobook. So I think I'm just going to give up on the physical copy and maybe I'll try and do an audiobook.
Be a bit more immersive that way.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
All right.
What's yours?
It would probably be one of the vintage books that I've got on my shelf, but I don't count them in my TBR because honestly, the likelihood of me reading most of those are next
to zero.
I bought the majority of those when I was hell-bent on having a nice little vintage book collection.
Yeah.
For aesthetic purposes. Like, I have some good ones. Like, I have some real classics. Like, I've got 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And
Yeah.
a few really, really good classics. Will I read them? Probably never. Maybe. Maybe
That's
one day. But other than that, it is probably The Sum of All Fears.
What is that?
It is by... Fuck.
I'm Googling it now.
Pause while we Google.
Google pause.
I cannot remember. It is
The Sum of
Jack
All-
Ryan. It is... there's been movies made about it.
Yeah, apparently there was a movie made in 2002.
Yeah, starring Ben Affleck.
Tom Clancy wrote it.
Yes, Tom Clancy. No, it's a Tom Clancy novel.
Yeah, based on Tom Clancy's novel.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay, so that's on there?
Jack Ryan.
I don't think I've ever read a Tom Clancy novel. I think my mum has read a Tom Clancy novel.
But yes, I've had that book for a very long time. And again, I've read bits of it and it's not that I couldn't get into it. I think I read it before I was like heavily back into reading.
Mm.
It is like a espionage sort of war-esque political novel.
Okay.
It's supposed to be very good and I do plan on reading it. But yeah, that's off the top of my head what I know as I'm picturing my bookshelves. What I know I've had on there for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like books I've hauled through different houses, and it's definitely Lord of the Rings.
I don't even own a copy of Lord of the Rings.
Really? I think we've got 3 different copies.
I want to get one, but I want to get like a nice copy.
Yeah.
I think is my thing.
We've got amalgamation ones. Do you annotate your books? If so, what are your favorite book annotation supplies?
I do not annotate. I will tab occasionally.
I don't annotate as in I don't like write in the margins, but I do highlight different sections. And if what I do is because I do have intensive being like a rereader because I have previously been a rereader, is I think I got it off of a booktuber that I watch called Kat's Fields Notes. Love her. She puts in the front like what pen she's using and then she'll put the year that she's done it in.
Oh, that's cool.
And then if she goes back, she goes through and highlights
so you can see
it.
like the journey of
which I think is really cool. And I have a couple intentions of doing that. The only book that I actually have done it in is They Can't Kill Us Until They Kill Us by Hanif Abdurraqib because I've read that pretty much every year for like 3 years.
Yeah. No, I can understand.
And yeah,
I highlight and put comments on my Kindle.
Yep.
Because it's very easy to do that, and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about like actually, writing in your books.
Mm-hmm.
But no, in physical books, if I find a line that like particularly sticks with me and I'm making more of an intention to do it this year, particularly with this being able to pull a book that I've read and be like, these are some of the lines that I really, really like.
Yeah.
I'm tabbing because at least like if I tab in where the line is, it'll at least be easy for me to find.
Yeah.
But I just don't have it in me to highlight or write in my books. I'm sorry.
No. I will underline, but I don't write in my books.
You underline in pencil? Just a highlighter?
Highlighter or pen.
If I was going to annotate, it would be in pencil. So I could erase it if need be. Do you like movie tie-in book covers? I'm not even going to read the next part of it because no.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Absolutely
Stop doing it.
Not.
Stop doing it. I hate it. Stop doing it.
Even stop putting the now a major motion picture little fake sticker thing on them. Absolutely not. Get it the fuck out of here.
What is your favourite time period to read about? I feel like that would be hard for you fantasy-wise.
Doesn't matter if it's fantasy because you never know when the fuck you are.
Yeah, I am trying to... Like, because I read a lot of contemporary stuff, like, most of it is set kind of,
mostly
like...
fairly modern day.
Fairly modern day. I guess, like, the period that the original was set in, which is, like, 1899, or, like, it was, like, 1880 to, like, 900. I really like that period. That's
Late.
it. I really like reading about that, or anytime. Like I read Perspectives by Laurent Benet, which was set. Like Michelangelo was like the artist was a character in the book, and it was such a good immersive setting.
Yeah.
So anything like that was really good. Also, I can't remember if you finished reading it, but like Bury Our Bones in Midnight
I haven't
Soil,
read
whatever.
it yet. I do have it on my TBR.
That's funny because you recommended that book to
I
me.
know.
I
I recommend it because I thought you would like it, not because I'd read it. Yes.
have that. I've started reading it, and I like the setting of that because it's like dual, like old-timey and also modern.
Yeah.
So, but I also haven't finished reading that book, but it's good.
It's not necessarily a set time period, but anything that has like Industrial Revolution era vibes
Oh,
is
interesting.
cool. Like Peaky Blinders-esque. That's kind of a bit more Victorian era. Like
Yeah. I guess
anything that might have a bit of a like steampunky, where there's like a bit of technology, but it's very like rudimentary.
I think like Renaissance-y vibes.
Yeah,
would describe
I
what
can
I
do
like.
Renaissance.
Renaissance-y is what I would like to read about, I think.
No, I don't read like much. It's either like fantasy when honestly you've got no idea and it feels very like medieval-esque, or it's like modern day. How do you make time for reading? We've kind of covered this in the last episode with
insomnia.
With reading routines. I read on my commute. I listen to audiobooks on my commute to and from work. I read on my lunch break, and I often try and make time to read after my kids go to bed.
See, I've just realized that this is me being toxic because I often don't take a lunch break at work. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I want to make time. That's kind of what my thing was, is like I want a better routine, so I want to be able to make time better.
Stay tuned for updates on Hannah's reading routine.
It's not going to be good. No, it's going to be fine. I'm new house, new me.
Okay.
Whose turn is it to spin?
Yours.
My turn. What is an instant turn off in a blurb? Oh, I know this. TikTok sensation. Fuck off.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I hate it. I also hate it when like a blurb is like, you will like this if you like these tropes. Like if you like enemies
for fans of.
Yeah, if you like enemies to lovers, if you like, miscommunication, if you like this, it's like I'm looking for a book. I'm not searching AO3 for tags.
I don't need a list of tropes in my blurb.
Thanks so much. So that would be an instant turn off for me.
Yeah, I think overlisting tropes is a turn off because a lot of the time putting tropes in can give away parts of the plot.
Yeah. I also think it wasn't even the blurb. I just read Heart the Lover by Lily King.
Mm-hmm.
Was Emma in my book club book. And it was the blurb was quite vague. It sounded very intriguing. And then halfway through the book, it became a cancer book. And it's not even that it needed a content warning. Like, I don't think it needed a content warning, but it needed something that was going to indicate that what it was about, because it destroyed my reading experience of it.
Yeah.
So just even like some kind of indication or something like that would have been good. But yeah, I don't know. I guess like big on TikTok is a current one that I find really irritating. I have not picked up a book that said TikTok sensation and then enjoyed the book or wanted to read it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's not necessarily blurb stuff, but I think when the back of a book has too many reviews, like too many of the quote reviews on it,
if there's no,
I don't care. I need to know a little bit about the story.
If there's no blurb and it's just quote reviews,
like the book I'm currently reading has 4 on the front cover, but they're all like one word.
Yeah,
and then it's got 1 on the back.
Yeah,
and they are all from very, very well-known authors. So
I think as well, also the ones that it's just like perfect for book clubs.
Yeah.
It doesn't really tell you anything, I think. So anything that's like that really annoys me.
I don't know. Not too much turns me off on a blurb because like, there isn't anything that I like. If I read it on a blurb, I instantly go, "Ew, no, thank you."
Yeah.
But if the blurb doesn't sound interesting, I won't read it. Is there one benefit that you've noticed in your life because you read?
I guess I don't know, knowledge, the pursuit of knowledge. Is that too much of a wanker thing? I don't know, expanded vocabulary.
For me, I think it's just having something for myself.
Yeah, fair.
Like being someone that works full time and has kids, and this is no shade to my partner, but as a woman, unfortunately, these days we do end up bearing the brunt of the load of the domestic tasks.
Yeah.
Having something that is, and this goes hand in hand with my BookTok account, having something that is purely, and this podcast is also part of it.
Yeah.
Having something that is purely for me is very good for me, for my own mental health.
Yeah. Also, I think the benefit in reading is, maybe it's not even for us finally doing something like this.
Yeah.
It's a benefit of
And,
reading.
yeah, you can find connection. Like if you want to find somebody to talk about books with, you will find somebody. Go on the internet.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You will find somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
About the
That
books
was
you read.
definitely a benefit, but also the pursuit of knowledge, if I want to sound like a wanker. Did you read a book and then watch its movie adaptation? How was it? Well,
we've seen many movie adaptations. There are many, many movie adaptations because a lot of the books we grew up reading have been adapted into movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like Perks Being a Wallflower was...
Twilight, Divergent, The Hunger Games.
I never saw the Divergent movies. I all read the books.
They were The Maze Runner. I read a lot of those very dystopian YA novels.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, like there were... So, for the most part, they're fine.
Yeah. I don't think I've read...
I haven't seen anything super recently.
No, I mean, I guess like I would like to read Hamnet now that I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We will endeavour to read and watch movie adaptation books.
Yeah.
At some point.
At
I
some
think
point
that's on
we will.
our challenge wheel that we're going to talk about soon. Would you ever put the spine of your books facing in on your bookshelf where the pages are facing out?
No, I'm not a fucking psychopath.
What
are we talking about?
I can understand this to an extent with special editions when they have like incredibly beautiful sprayed edges.
Yeah, but even then...
I don't know what the book is.
I probably wouldn't do it, I don't think.
I don't do it.
Yeah, I think that's...
I can understand people doing it with... Hey?
All power to you if you do it, but no thanks.
Not our vibe. I hate the trend that people did for a while where they turned all their books backwards. Because it was very much in the, like, beige interior design aesthetic. I'm like, get out.
I've seen some
people... If you don't want to see the books on your shelf, don't have them.
I've seen people do it when, like, as a way to try and get out of a reading rut, which was, like, turn all of your books like that and then...
and pull them at random.
Like, pull them at random off of there. I guess it's similar to, like, some books I was doing that, like, blind date with a book thing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But, no, I wouldn't. I like to look at I like to see what I've got and be able to find a book really quickly.
Yes. Not spend 20 minutes
I
searching through my bookshelves.
I wouldn't do that. Do you prefer long chapters or short chapters? To be perfectly neutral here, I prefer consistent chapters. If I'm gonna be reading a book and it's short chapters, I want it to stay short chapters, not randomly have like a 30 or 40 page chapter in there.
Yeah,
if your book is long chapters, then I want it to stay long chapters. Like The Wheel of Time, which I'm currently been reading for like 4 months, is really long chapters. So I find that good. But also with short chapters, I guess I get into the habit of like, I'll just read one more chapter. I'll just read one more chapter. And then it's like, well, this chapter's only 5 pages long, so I'm going to keep reading.
And then all of a sudden you finish the book.
Yeah.
I don't really have a preference. I get what you mean with the consistency thing, particularly when you're listening to audio.
Yeah, and it's like if it's a 20-minute chapters and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this chapter's 55 minutes long. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So from an audio perspective, just consistent chapters. I think from an audio perspective, I like shorter chapters.
Yeah, same.
From a physical perspective, I don't think it really matters to me.
Yeah, how diplomatic of us.
What book has made you cry recently?
Bloody everything. I cry constantly while reading. It's actually ridiculous. It's a joke.
I haven't read anything that's made me cry lately.
I cried reading the original by Nell Stevens. Yeah. I cried reading Forest Euphoria, who's the author has escaped me now. Cried reading that. Stories about, weird gender feelings and mushrooms really got me. It was such a good book, dude. It was so good. I'm trying to it's a Silver Book by Olivia Lang. I cried reading. I cry a lot when I read. Same as movies. Like, I never used to be a big crier in movies, and now it's like I saw Hamnet. I started crying 20 minutes into the movie, and I didn't cry. I did not stop crying until I got home.
I cry in movies constantly, but you won't catch me shedding a tear in real life.
That's fair. I don't think I've ever seen Eliza cry, and we've been friends for over 10 years. So, whereas, although I don't think I've cried in front of you. I'm not like, find it hard to cry.
I don't think I've had a meet cute as such. I've had some really good conversations with people working in bookstores about books. But it's never gone further than that. I've never formed a friendship with anyone just because, oh, you're reading this.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, not really. Would love to do it. But not really. Who was the most memorable character of, it says the year, we'll say 2025. Oh, actually, no, just one of your most memorable characters. Bartholomew.
Yeah, Bartholomew. I love Bartholomew. If anything happens about Bartholomew, I'm killing everyone in this room.
I've read quite a lot of memorable characters. I definitely think Sybil from The Night of the Moth is up there. She's
I love
purely
her.
because she's such a unique character.
Yeah, I think
In the
she's
world
really...
of fantasy, she is a very, very unique character. And this one's also a cop-out, Manon Blackbeak from Throne of Glass.
Who?
I said Manon Blackbeak. She's a witch, and she is incredible.
Maybe... Oh, actually, most memorable character of the year, I would say the... Hang on, I'm riffling my papers. The Wax Child in the book The Wax Child by Olga Raven, because it was such a... it was like omnipresent narrator almost, and it was just like, it was a clump of wax shaped to form a baby. But it was the narrator of the book.
Oh.
And it was so memorable. So yeah, I guess probably that. Do you prefer digital books or physical books?
I don't really have a preference. I mean, sorry, no, that's a lie. I do prefer a physical book, but for ease of reading, I do love reading on my Kindle.
Yeah, I think the same. Like, I didn't have an e-reader for ages, and then when Emma upgraded, she gave me her old Kobo, and I was like, I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of this, but I use my Kobo constantly. So I think my preference is physical books because I like to highlight and I like to, have a nice book.
Yeah.
But my Kobo has been really game-changing for me. So
yeah,
both.
It's funny, I had my Kindle for so long. Because I asked for one, I got one for my birthday one year, and I read a couple of things on it, and then I just kind of put it down and forgot about it for a while. And then when I got back into reading, I use it. Not all the time, because I'm trying to read my physical TBR at the moment.
Yeah.
But if I have a book and it's available that I'm going to read, and it's available on Kindle Unlimited, I would often read it on my Kindle just because it's easy to transport.
Yeah.
I don't have to risk, accidentally bending the cover of the book or anything like that.
Yeah. I guess also for me, before I got my Kobo, I had been using Libby to borrow books, and I was reading ebooks on my fucking tiny little iPhone, which was good for me because I would read books on the bus and stuff like that. But the fact that my Kobo syncs to my Libby is really good. So any library book I get appears on my Kobo. So yeah, it's good. I love my Kobo.
What book can you not believe you waited as long? Well, all right. I'm gonna paraphrase this. What is a book that you can't believe you waited for so long to read?
Ooh. Oh no, I actually have it right here. Orbital or Who's Afraid of Gender. Dale bought them for me for... I don't think it was my birthday last year. I think it was my birthday in 2024. Let me see when these books came out. Hold, please.
All right. Well, I'll tell mine. I have had, and it's a book I actually read this month. I've had the first book in the Assistant to the Villain trilogy by Hannah Nicole Mehra for close to a year at this point, probably. I bought it because I just happened upon a copy of it in Big W that had really cute little sprayed edges, and it was like $20. So I grabbed it, and it sat there for ages, and it took me forever, and I don't know why, because it is 300-ish pages, so it's not overly long, and it was so entertaining. It is literally like The Office with... It's actually got quite a lot of fairy tale tie-ins to it. So there's references to Princess and the Frog, there's references to Rapunzel, there's references to Snow White, all of those kind of tied in. It is The Office, but in a fantasy world.
Okay.
And it was so entertaining. And I was kicking myself that I had waited so long to read it.
I think mine were Orbital and Who's Afraid of Gender because, I just checked the release dates. Dale gave them to me for my birthday in 2024. So May 2024, he gave them to me. And I read them. I read Who's Afraid of Gender in December 2025 and Orbital the month beforehand, I think. What books from your to-read list are you most excited to read this year?
I am going to start my Brandon Sanderson journey this year.
Oh.
Going to start the Cosmere. I have the first
What's
3 books.
Cosmere?
That's his universe, which has the Mistborn series
and
Stormlight Archive. They're all part of the same universe.
I started the first Stormlight Archive book, I think, and I could not get through it. And James has given me grief about it for about 2 years.
So I would really like to read that.
I think I'm excited for Laura McPhee's Brown new book is coming out in July. I really liked Cherry Beach and Little Plum. I thought they were great, so I'm really excited to read them. I don't know. There's a lot on my TBR.
There are many, many books coming out this year that I'm excited to read. But that's a whole other episode that we're going to talk about those.
Yes, I think we are. All right.
Would you rather read one long book? This says 900-ish pages or 3 shorter 300-ish pages books. 3 shorter books, without a doubt.
Yeah, I would read 3 shorter books. Most of the books I've read, if you look at my little story graph thingy, it's reads books like 300 pages and under.
Yeah.
So that's like the sweet spot for me book-wise. I will read longer books and enjoy them, but like that's the...
I'm all for like longer books. Like, you know, for me, like
you just read Alchemized, which is
500 books is like a sweet spot for me.
500 pages.
500 pages, Jesus Christ. 500 pages is about a sweet spot for me. But I did read Alchemized at the start of this year, and that is 1,000 pages. I think 900 plus is excessive, and I have read several books that are pushing 1,000 pages.
You just said that you wanted to start your Brandon Sanderson.
Yes, I know. But I mean, I can appreciate a long book as long as it's engaging. But I do find that shorter books I burn through faster.
Yeah.
Because it's less.
What is your favourite drink snack to have while reading? I don't really snack while I'm reading, but my favourite drink to have while I'm reading is a English breakfast tea with oat milk.
I tend to just drink water while I'm reading.
Hydration queen. I'm having a
or
cup
coffee.
of tea.
The problem with drinking hot beverages for me is that I'll get engrossed in the book and then forget the drink exists and then it goes cold. But I also, like, most of my reading is done in the evenings, so I don't often make a drink. I might be finishing whatever drink I've had with dinner, or, you know, at the moment we're drinking San Pellegrino.
We are.
I drink a lot of sparkling water, so I'll just drink some sparkling water while I'm drinking.
Oh,
and then at least if it spill a little bit on the book,
it doesn't matter.
There is no stain, just
That's
a crinkle in the page.
That's fair.
Who's your favorite author of all time, and what is your favorite book by them? Yours is going to be Olivia Lang.
Yeah, it's definitely Olivia Lang. I would say my favorite book by them is Funny Weather, Art in an Emergency. Love, so good. Or Hanif Abdurraqib, like anything Hanif writes, I'm sitting down and reading. Like I just think that he's brilliant. Probably They Can't Kill Us Until They Kill Us. That's my favorite book of his. So yeah probably those ones. Which we'll talk about constantly because they're my favourite authors.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is going to be harder for you.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, I've mentioned her several times over. Stacey McEwen is one of my favourite authors. She's like an author for me. She writes very, very unique fantasy.
Yeah.
And then Rachel Gillig just does such an incredible job of creating these atmospheric worlds. But my favourite books by them, Stacey McEwen's written a trilogy, which is one of my favourite trilogies of all time. But I will say I do think her latest book that came out in June, July of last year, Forbidden Alchemy, is my favourite book by her.
Yep.
It's very industrial age fantasy. So it feels like a tiny little bit modern, but also very fantasy, as the way that people determine whether they have magic or not is when they get to a certain age. These children attend and they have to drink this like potion essentially, which tells them whether they have magic or not. It's so unique that I just can't, I cannot get past it. I am already so insanely excited for the sequel to come out later this year. What time of day do you read the most? For example, do you read more during the morning, midday, or at night?
At night.
I read mostly at night. I do read during the day because I've said several times over now, I listen to audiobooks on my commute to and from work. So I kind of read across the day.
Yeah.
But I would get the bulk of my reading done at night. Yeah,
the biggest chunks I read is at night. Do you prefer books set in modern time, books set in the past, or books set in the future? I guess we've answered this when we talk about time periods. I prefer modern day, I guess.
I prefer the past. But again, a lot of the books I read don't have a hard and fast time period because I read fantasy. So they very rarely have a set time period.
Unspecified medieval time kind
basically.
of vibe.
Ooh, okay. So the best, coolest, or most interesting title.
There was a book that I read because I thought that, and I was like, title, premise, everything sounded so good. And it was my biggest disappointing read. Justin got so sick of me talking about how much I hated this book, which is not the book that I previously talked about hating so much that he asked me to stop talking about it, is The Rotting Room by Vicky Parr Hampton. And I was like, yes, sold. This is so perfect. It's set in 1700s. It's set in a nunnery. There's some kind of weird religious paranormal stuff going on. And I was like, yes. Horrible. Really, really bad. That doesn't really answer that question. I thought it had a cool title and it wasn't that good.
I mean, I'm in the same vein. I haven't even read this book. I think Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil is a very, very cool title.
It is, yeah. It was good. That's a good title. I also got to the bit in the book where they say that and I was like, oh, it's just like in a movie.
So I think that's a really, really cool title. Off the top of my head as well, again, a book I haven't read, Immortal Dark.
Yeah.
I like titles that aren't too fucking full of things. If it's just simple. Yeah. The first one that popped into my head was actually, and I can't even remember the name of the author, it's called Veselless.
Oh, yeah. I saw one.
I love me a good one-word title.
You love a one-word title. It's on, I think I want to read it next, but it's by Nell Stevens, who wrote the original, but the book is called Briefly a Delicious Life. And I was like, that's an interesting title for a book. So I would probably read that. To love more, but didn't. Oh, I just talked about it. The Rotting Room.
Yeah.
I was like, perfect, made for me, so ideal, so unbelievably bad. I hate read that book. Also, a book, I guess, that I was excited to read about and beyond hated to the point where I didn't finish it was A Little Life. Like,
I have no interest in reading A Little Life.
So many people around me started reading it and they were really, really hyping it. And I got maybe like halfway through it and I was like, I don't like this book. So, yeah.
I talked about this kind of in the last episode, but Alchemized by Sen-Lin Yu. I enjoyed it, but I definitely went in with astronomical expectations based on everyone else's reviews.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it and the story sat with me for a while, but I didn't love it to the level that, like, I wasn't absolutely emotionally devastated by it. Like everyone else seemed to be. What was your favorite book when you were a child?
The Fairy Realm by Emily Rodda.
Oh,
she's an Australian author, and it's like it's a little as I thought it was really big when I was.
You know what? I can actually pick an Emily Rodda book too.
Is it Del Toro Quest?
Yes.
Yeah. I see. I never read Del Toro Quest, but I read.
I have the omnibus downstairs.
I have the Fairy Realm book, which is 6 books in one, and it's about like a little girl called Jessie, and she's living with her mum and her grandma in. I'm pretty sure it's the Blue Mountains. And it turns out that she finds a magical fairy realm at the bottom of her grandmother's garden. And it turns out that her grandmother was like the queen, some type of royalty anyway, in that particular realm. And it was just such a good book series when I was a kid, to the point where like I was definitely in my mid-20s. I think I was probably like 25, 26. And she gave a talk at Marion Library and Mum and I ended up going and she signed my copy of The Fairy Realm.
Incredible.
And it's in such bad condition because I read that book
to death.
It's like sticky tape. It's like there's stuff all over it. Like it's like horrible.
Yeah, I would say
definitely that one.
Del Toro Quest is definitely up there for me.
Yeah, I never read Del Toro Quest.
Oh, so good. I need to. I actually want to reread it.
Yeah,
as an adult.
I think it's fun. I think I would go back and read The Fairy Realm now, and it would probably take me like a day, but it was really good.
Another series that I'll use teenage years as child. Because let's be real, we were children when we were in high school. But you would have been forced to read this in English too. But Tomorrow When the War Began.
I never read it. It wasn't in the English classes that I did.
It was in mine, and I read it, and it was fine when I read it in school. But then I read it again, like later on in high school. Absolutely fucking loved it. The whole there's 7 books in the series.
It's the one by John Marsden.
John Marsden.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about it, but I never actually read it. I don't think it was on any of my. Definitely wasn't on any of my school book lists. It wasn't on any of my uni ones either. So
good. It is so well executed for young adult books that were published. These were published in the late 80s and the 90s.
Oh, I thought they were more recent than that.
No,
actually. Wow. Okay.
No, they're fairly old. They are very, very good.
What is the next book you plan to read?
I don't even know.
I think it was. Oh, actually, no. I have 2. One is Briefly a Delicious Life by Nell Stevens. And then the other one is, I think hang on, I'm going to get her name. It is called Heap Earth Upon It by Chloe Michelle Haworth, which I'm very excited about. I believe it is, it is Irish. It's set in the 1965. Her previous book has also been on my TBR for a really long time. I'm waiting for it to come up at the library. It's called Sunburn, and it was really popular last year or the year before. Yeah.
I actually don't know because I create like other book content. I tend to plan out my TBRs for the month.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I usually have like a pile of books that I'm going to read. I haven't done my TBR for February yet.
Yeah, I was going to say it's odd
because at the time I'm
planned.
recording this, it is the end of January. Like we're in the last few days of January here. So I actually haven't planned out my February TBR just yet. One book that I know I'm going to read because it comes out in February is Throne of Nightmares by Kerry Maniscalco. It's the 3rd book in the Princes of Sin series.
Yeah.
I actually just finished the 2nd book. So that comes out in February. So I will definitely be reading that. Yeah. It is like, I think it's either the 10th or the 13th it comes out. So that is on my list. But other than that, no fucking clue.
Interesting. I'll read those 2 and then actually, stay tuned to see if I actually do read them because I'll say that I'm going to read them and then I'll read them in 6 months. All right, you can do the last question.
Where do you like to read? At home, on the couch, on the train, in bed, where? Read on the
I
couch.
mostly read in bed
I
because
don't read in bed much at all.
I read a lot at night, and we're also doing like phone-free
Evenings.
evenings and bedroom at the moment. It's like we don't have our phones charged in a different room. So I probably mostly read at night. I do like to read kind of like in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like if I was going to have like a perfect day, it would be like getting a coffee and sitting down and reading for a bit in the morning and stuff like that. So yeah, probably.
I tend to read on the couch.
Mm.
I like reading on the couch, or I like reading on my balcony when there's a nice breeze.
Ooh, yeah, balcony would be so ideal.
So
My
other
new
than
house
that-
has a backyard, so I think it will be probably sitting in the backyard.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I don't read much in bed because I
Have small children?
Well, no, it's more so that I just tend to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like, I get tired fast, and, like, I try to keep my bed as just the place where I sleep.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's really it.
That's fair. All right.
right. That's all for this episode because
We've answered so many questions and we're starting to get duplicates. Anyway, we will see you in episode 2.
where we're not answering questions anymore.
Yay!
We are going to be talking about actual things other than ourselves.
Let me refer to the episode plan.
All right. See you next
Okay,
time.
bye.
Bye.